Hi everyone, good afternoon. Apologies for the delays. We had some technical issues which has been sorted, and I can see our speaker is here already. Judith, can you hear me? Judith, can you hear me? Can any other person hear me? Please, if you can hear me, drop a message on the chat. Hey guys, can anybody hear me? Because I don't think anybody can hear me, and the speaker is also here. Hi everyone, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please signify on the chat.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, let me see a chat in the comment section. Okay, that's great. Apologies for the delay. We'd had a lot of issues a lot of technical issues, but we're good to go now. So, hi, everyone. So, let me share my screen. So we can walk through it together. Please let me know if you can see my screen. So I'm guessing that we can see my screen. Yes, you can see my screen. Okay, that's great. Now, in today's class or in today's session, we're going to be working on breaking into tech, and we're going to be working in the data science section of things. Now, a little brief information about myself before we begin. My name is Judith Okon, and I'm a data professional. I've been in the data field for about 3-4 years, but altogether I've been in the working force for about 7 years. I started out with a mechanical engineering degree, and I jumped into the corporate scene at a big four consulting firm when I initially started. And along the way, I moved into construction and dealt heavily on project management. And I am currently in the oil and gas sector where I work as a data analyst slash scientist. And I work with tools such as Excel, SQL, Python, Tableau, Power BI, and I, derive insights from complex data sets. But beyond my 9 to 5 job, I am also a data science instructor at an edtech company, which is Jupiter Academy. And what we do there is that I teach aspiring data scientists about core concepts of data science, how to break into data science, and what they need to just get started in the field. Outside of all of this, I'm also a data mentor, which means that I help guide data enthusiasts, whether data analysts or data scientists, into the data world, just making sure that they are ready for the job market and they have the necessary skills to shine. A fun fact about me is that I sing and I play the guitar. So outside of my professional work, I still have my hobbies. Now, what's our agenda for today? We're going to be working on what is data science. So you're going to learn about what exactly data science means, why data science matters, the applications of data science, skills required, a data science life cycle conclusion, as well as a question and answer section so that we can speak on whatever queries we have. Now, let's just jump right into it. What is data science? Now, this is a multidisciplinary field. And what does it do? It uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and lots more to do what? Extract insights and knowledge from structured and unstructured data sets. Now, the primary use of data science is to predict and then forecast trends and outcomes by using, like we said, statistical analysis, machine learning algorithms, data patterns. Now, when you think about data science, imagine that you have a history, a past, and you have a present. Now, you're taking data from the past, feeding it into a model to predict something. Now, we know that we have things like data analysis and we have data science. People, interchange them often, but they are different things. Yes, they have the word data, but they do different things. Now, both of them rely on historical data, which is past data that has been collected. And with data analysis, you're just going into the past to see what kind of patterns were there, to see what you can derive from there. But for data science, you're using past data to predict something in the future. So it's more predictive, it's more futuristic, it's more forecasting. That's the idea of data science. Now, why does data science matter? First of all, data science is among the hottest fields in the 21st century. In fact, it was regarded as one of the world's sexiest professions in the world, right? And it has significant impact on our daily lives. Even by 2025, it's going to have even a larger impact in our transportation system, our logistics, our healthcare, our banking, you name it, advertisement. There's just so much that can be done with data science. Now, we know that there are massive amounts of information that are generated day by day. And when we say data, so you might be thinking data is some, collective thing. It might sound tough in your head. But let's just take, for example, myself, right? What are data that can be collected about me? My age, my height, where I went to school, what type of school I went to, what degree I have, where I'm from, where I grew up, what how kind of house I live. These are kind of data that can be collected about yourself. In fact, there's data everywhere you look at it. You might even just take your phone. What kind of data can be collected about your phone? What is the make of this phone? What is the size of this phone? What kind of camera does this phone have? These are data that can be collected from different things around you. So don't see data as, this grand thing. Can be put down to the tiniest sets. Now, by digging into data, businesses can uncover what's valuable information. They can discover trends, and they can use these trends and find this to make smarter decisions and help to plan. Now, data science also helps us to do what? Predict what will happen in the future. This way, what can happen? We can predict, prepare for challenges, unforeseen circumstances. We can take advantageous positions, especially as a business. You should, how can you, protect risk from happening in the future? How can you maybe improve your stock in the future? Different things about that. Now, we've been talking about data science. One thing that we can also see is that the salary expectation for a data scientist is extremely high, right? This is just a salary expectation in the United States, which is about $124,000 per year. Obviously, there's the lower end of it and the higher end of it. So this is just an average salary. Now, obviously, depending on what country you're practicing, it would have, its different amount. But one thing to know is that a data scientist is quite nicely paid, right? Now, we've been talking about data science, what is data science, and all of these things. Now, let's look at the application of data science, because this is where you have a proper understanding of how data science can be used. Data science can be used in digital marketing. What does that mean? For example, let us take maybe Jumia or Konga, for example, this e-commerce shopping websites that we have, Amazon, eBay, any e-commerce website. Now, what data science can help us do is to help us analyze our customer behavior, our customer preferences, our customer demographics, and be able to, one, provide tailored marketing messaging towards them. Now, what does that mean? Let's imagine you're somebody that goes into maybe Jumia or Konga, and you're always looking for electronics. Every time you go there, you're searching iPhone 15, Samsung S2. You're always searching for some kind of electronics. What happens is that this the machine learning model that has been built is collecting all this data that you are imputing there for your account. And it's saying, okay, this person, let's say, for example, Taiwo, anytime Taiwo comes into the site, is always looking for something electronic. Now, the next time Taiwo comes into the site, it will start to tell Taiwo, are you looking for something like this? These are examples of things you might like. And it might show Taiwo a list of an array of different type of electronics, maybe power bank, maybe phone. You see, it is giving Taiwo what he might like based off what he has been searching for. So it's taking Taiwo's historical data and needing to predict what Taiwo might like. And that helps, with customer service. Because if I go to the site and I'm already seeing things that I know that I want to search for off the bat without even having to search for anything, me as a customer, I am pleased. So, for example, looking in here in our picture that we have here, where imagine that this person is always searching for alcoholic beverages, maybe beers or whatever. And when they come back into the site, they are also recommending things that they might like, such as maybe the Belgian beer. So that's an idea of data science in digital marketing. We can also use data science in recommender system. Now, I'm very sure that we all know about Netflix. Now, with Netflix, we know that there's situations where we finish watching a movie, very similar to the idea of digital marketing. We finish watching a movie and it tells us what you might like, right? Because you've watched Friends, or you've watched How I Met Your Mother, or you've watched, How to Get Away with Murder. It starts to recommend things that are very similar to that particular movie that we use them. That is an application of data science in, recommender systems like Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever streaming system that we're using. And what does this do? It's again boils down to customer service, trying to, just simplify processes for your customers and just keep them picked, keep them entertained, keep them on your site, keep them resubscribing, keep them, coming back for more. Now, data science can also be used in image processing. For example, let's imagine on Facebook sometimes let's say you have a group picture and you want to tag somebody. And it's already, because it has an image recognition system which has been built already, it now says that, oh, is this possible tags for this particular person, right? It gives a possible tag of who that person might be. So in image recognition, what it does is that you've already built a model that has maybe taken in all these traffic lights, person, handbag before, and it's now using, because it has already seen what those things look like before. When it sees it again, it can easily detect that, okay, this is a traffic light, this is a handbag, this is a car, right? This is an application of data science, and it can be used in this particular image processing, can be used in so many aspects of life, security systems, just even down to our social media, different things like that. We also have the one for iPhones. I don't know if it happens on Android as well, where we have, for example, there is a picture of someone, and then in your photo gallery, if you tap on it, it shows you other pictures that you have of that same person in your phone. That is an image processing, right? That is a use of data science in our mobile device. Now, data science can also be used for our airline routing plan. Now, we know that we can take in historical flight data, weather patterns, airspace conditions, just to even find maybe the best routes that we can use for our flights. Maybe the routes that will take us there fastest, the flights that will take us there with more fuel efficiency, getting more on-time arrivals. These are practical use of data science in our airspace industry. One thing about data science, and which I believe is one of the best things about data science, is that it can be used in different industry. It's not tailored to a particular type of industry. For example, a doctor might not necessarily be going, you cannot find a doctor working in a bank, you cannot find a doctor working in an engineering company, right? A doctor will be found in a hospital, but as a data scientist, you're limitless. You can decide to work in a hospital, you can decide to work in a bank, you can decide to work in airline, you can decide to work in wherever fits your boat. Now, we can also use application of data science in what's fraud and risk detection. So this has more to do with like banking and commercial side of things. Now, what can it be used for in this sense? For example, let's imagine you have a credit card, and or let's even take, for example, a bank lending loan to people. And because the bank is trying to protect itself, it's saying, if I lend money to these people, what is the possibility that they will pay back or they can pay back, right? So it takes data from past people that it has lended loan to and seeing their repayment type of plan, see if you're able to pay back at a period of time, and then it uses that to predict. So you can say, for example, somebody that is 32 years old, that is single, that earns maybe above 1 million naira per month, maybe lives in a certain area, this person is more possible to pay back this loan within this particular period of time. And now with those kind of people, it would approve a loan for someone like that. So it takes in particular details about a customer, and then it's saying, okay, this one, let us approve a loan for this because this person can pay based off past information that it has used to predict if somebody can pay or not. Now, that's the risk side of things. But for the fraud side of things, you know that there are times when people can, steal people's credit cards or card details and use it to shop online. So it could take patterns in which a customer actually, uses their cards, and then when it detects anything that seems fraudulent or seems out of the norm, it now flags this as a form of fraud or a form of issue, and then could even lead to blocking the card. So these are applications of data science in even like the banking space in itself. We also have application of data science in healthcare industry. Now we know that, for example, let's take diabetes. What it can do is that it takes a lot of customers that have had diabetes in the past, and it finds out specific things about them. So we could say maybe a customer that's 35 years old, grew up in maybe Port Harcourt, where there is a lot of smoke and all of these things regarding oil and gas. Maybe they grew up with, maybe they have this underlying heart condition, different information about a customer, and then it checks if that customer had, let's say, bronchitis, and finds and looks at customers that do not have bronchitis, and then with that is able to predict. So let's imagine we have a new customer that comes in and says, oh, he's been coughing, he lives in Bielsa, he's of this particular age, he can take in this information and predict if this customer is likely to have bronchitis in the future or not, based off data it has collected from past patients. So these are uses of data science in the healthcare, and it's not even regarded to that. There's even the chat box system. We have Siri, we have all of these voice activation systems. It works on the principle of data science, but a more advanced, like natural learning process is a more advanced section of data science. Even our chat box, where you have maybe, for example, Leo in UBA, that's an application of data science in itself, right? Even ChatGPT is data science, advanced method of data science. So these are applications of data science in itself. Now, we've been talking about how data. But before you go into data science, we have to ask ourselves, what do you need? What kind of skills do you need to be able to equip yourself for this? Because it's not something that you just jump into. It's something that you have to prepare for. Everything that you do, you always have to prepare for it. Now, let's say, for example, you are a data scientist. What kind of skills do you need? Number one, programming. If you know that you don't like anything that has to do with code, maybe this is where you stop the video, because you have to code. You have to be able to code. You have to be able to put codes together. And what kind of coding are we talking about? It's not the one for building websites or all this. No. We're looking at Python, or we're looking at R. Now, Python is the largest programming language for a data scientist. We use Python a lot more than the other ones, there's Julia, Java, but as a data scientist, you're prone to using Python a lot more than all these other ones. It's the most popular, right? It's very versatile as well. Python, in my opinion, is not difficult to learn, but there's obviously that initial fear of coding in Python. It sounds cumbersome, but I am of the opinion that there's nothing that you cannot do as long as you put your mind to it and you're ready to learn. There's nothing that you cannot do. So it's extremely versatile. Like I said, it's easier to learn in comparison with maybe HTML or all these other programming language. I feel in a way it's closer to English. It takes a lot of logical reasoning, but it's a lot closer to English. And there are certain libraries that you need on Python to be able to work properly. Of course, you have pandas, you have scikit-learn, you have matplotlib for visualization, you have NumPy for numerical processing, you have pandas for data manipulation. The different aspects of libraries that are used in Python that helps as a data scientist to be able to get the work done a lot faster. Now, me, I talk about Python a lot more because that's what I use. I don't use R, so I can't speak much on it. Another aspect is statistics and mathematics. Very, very important. One thing about data science is that it's very heavy on the mathematical side of things. We've spoken about machine learning algorithm. Machine learning algorithm is backed up by math. It is mathematics they use to build it. Linear algebra, differential equation, calculus, all these things are very important. In fact, statistical analysis, mean, median, mode, all of these things, probability, conditional probability, normal distribution, Gaussian distribution, the matrix. I'm sure there are things that you're just going to be like, what is this? What is she saying? But these are aspects of mathematics that we have to know as a data scientist, right? You're not necessarily going in there to be solving maths, no. But the truth is that the back end of this thing is built on mathematics. And for you to really understand something properly, you want to understand why this thing has come about, right? You want to understand how this thing has come about and what kind of changes you can make to improve something. So that's the idea of, using math. And another aspect of, I'll say statistics in this sense, not necessarily math, is, for example, we're looking at mean, median, and mode. In a situation where you have a very dirty data set and you need to clean it, because we know that we'll get to that side, it's part of data lifecycle. Data cleaning is extremely important. You cannot do anything with a dirty data set. And you're working on data cleaning and you want to maybe fill in some missing data. For you to fill in some missing data, especially if they're numerical data, you need statistics. You need to know median, mode, mean. You need knowledge of the statistical terms and how to use them. So they're very important in data science. Now, a very important part is what machine learning. Now, machine learning is Machine learning is the grandfather, in fact, is the generational daddy of data science. Without machine learning, there's no data science. Now, machine learning, you have to be extremely familiar with algorithms. We have different types of algorithms that we build to be able to predict. Because remember what I said, you have past data, you have machine learning algorithm in the middle, and then you have your prediction, what you have predicted. So past data is entering into machine learning algorithm to be able to predict something. So that machine learning algorithm is like I said, the granddaddy of everything data science related, because that's how we predict. There are different types of algorithms. We have decision tree, support vector machine, linear regression, logistic regression, XGBoost, CAT, like there are different types. So as a data scientist, it's essential to know what type of machine learning algorithm to use for what type of data sets that you're working with or what type of results that you're trying to get. Obviously, these are more advanced level things. It's not for what we're currently dealing with. So just know that there's machine learning algorithms that are an essential part. Now, there's data wrangling. I spoke on data cleaning and preparing of our data sets. Now, there's a specific library in Python that we often use for this, which is our, what do you call it, pandas, right? So for pandas, we use, it's more of a data manipulation library in our Python, and it helps us with more of rows and columns, tables. So it works on the principles of working with table. And this is very essential for when working with structured data, because we can have structured data, which is data in rows and columns, and unstructured data, which is just anything, text, images, videos, those kind of data. Now, communication, ability to convey your insights. It is extremely important that you can communicate what you have found out to your stakeholders. Communication is an essential part of any aspect of any job that you are doing, to be very honest with you, but very essential in the tech field and very essential in data science. Because imagine you have predicted something, you have built a machine learning model that can predict something. You need to, pose this to your stakeholders, explain what you have found, your findings. And your stakeholders might not be tech savvy, they might not be statistically savvy, they might not be programming savvy. So you have to be able to break down these words for them to really understand what you are saying without them even being confused. So that's an aspect of, being able to explain something to somebody that has no idea what you're even speaking about. Now, there's domain knowledge, and domain knowledge is very essential. Remember that I said that we can work on data science with different industries, for example, healthcare, the banking industry, the airspace. Now, domain knowledge means important knowledge on that particular industry that you are working in. So, for example, now you want to work in the healthcare space as a data scientist. You need to know things about healthcare. You need to know, things in the healthcare space. You cannot just come blindly and say you want to fix a problem that they have there. You want to be a data scientist in the healthcare. You don't even know anything about diseases. You don't know anything about anything. So domain knowledge of whatever field you intend to work in is extremely important, because it helps you, even in whatever solution you're trying to build as a data scientist and any other further thing that you're going to be working on. Now, what is the data science lifecycle? Because we've said that, okay, we want to take past data, put it into our machine learning algorithm, and then predict something. Quite all right, that's fine. But there are steps. Everything in this life has steps. You can't just do anything anyhow. So the first thing is defining a problem. Now, by defining asking a particular question. And what is the question? Now, let us take a problem like a company wants to maybe reduce the number of customers that are leaving their business. So let's say, for example, an e-commerce business, right? And they have a lot of cost. Oh, let's even use, for example, Netflix. And they have a lot of people that are always unsubscribing from Netflix. Every month, they're losing customers every month. And they sat with their data team and said, what can we do? First of all, we have too many people that are leaving this business. Let us use data to understand why they are leaving and predict what kind of customers would leave, right? Now, the next thing they do is data collection. You need to collect relevant data based off the problem at hand. So you're collecting maybe information about the customer's demographics, the usage pattern, maybe how often they sign into Netflix, how long they stay, what kind of movies they watch, how long they even watch the particular movie that they're watching. Because sometimes we can start watching a movie and we don't even complete it and we're just done. So they have data on every participant's usage on that particular platform, and they collect all this data for each customer and put it together. Now there's the data cleaning section. Like I said, as a data scientist, as a data analyst, as a data engineer, whatever data pathway you go through, data cleaning is the ultimate. You spend about 80% of your time cleaning data. Why is that? Because without clean data, you cannot predict any meaningful thing. Without clean data, you cannot look into the past to explore what had happened. Without clean data, you cannot really do much. So cleaning data involves what? Handling missing variables. Sometimes, because sometimes, let's imagine you're collecting data as a survey, you're doing a survey and you're collecting data from people on the road. There might be some questions that they will not answer. Some people might choose to answer maybe number 1, number 3, number 5. They don't answer the rest. So those are missing values. Those are missing variables. And as a data scientist, you have to fill them up. You have to fill up those missing sections, right? Correcting errors. Sometimes there might be errors in your data set. For example, now there can be Lagos. Lagos can be spelled as Lagos. Another person might spell Lagos as Laraurs. Another person might spell Lagos as different things. So these are things that you have to correct in your data sets, right? There could also even be inconsistencies. For example, something that is supposed to be a number column or a numerical column is saved as text, right? So we have to now convert that to a different type of data type that can be used. Now, so that is about data cleaning. It sounds very straightforward, very easy, but I promise you, it's the hardest thing that you will do as a data scientist or a data analyst. Now, the next stage is what? Exploratory data analysis. What does this imply? This means exploring the data, exploring your data sets that you have cleaned to understand patterns, to see correlations, to see what factors influence something else. This is a very important part because it helps you it gives you an idea what you're working with. For example, let's say we're analyzing our customer data sets, and we cannot see that maybe customers that spend maybe just 30 minutes on the app in a day tend to leave the business or tend to unsubscribe after a month. We can now start to find sort of correlations between their usage pattern or between the type of customers. Or we can even say customers that earn below a certain amount only subscribe for maybe monthly subscription. They don't do yearly subscription. And with that, we can now start to make some hypotheses, some guesses, and start to put things together. We have a better idea of the kind of customers that we're looking at and what influences certain decisions that they will take. Now, the next thing is feature engineering. Feature engineering just involves creating maybe new features out of existing features already. So let's say, for example, we have want to create a loyalty score. We cannot create a loyalty score based off maybe the lifetime or the life cycle, which is like the length of time that a customer has been there. So we can say that if a customer has been subscribed to this business for more than maybe 10 months, they should have maybe a score of 9. If they've been subscribed for greater than 10 years, they should have maybe a score of 100, different kind of things. So we're creating a new feature out of something that has already existed. And a lot of the time, these new features that we're creating are more important for our machine learning model, right? So it gives a more importance than maybe the pre-existing feature that is already there before. And now the very important step is our modeling. Our modeling is where we now develop our predictive model using what? Machine learning algorithms. We spoke about some machine learning algorithms like maybe support vector machine, decision trees. That's where we now build our model. Because remember that our model is where we are passing in our past data to now predict something in the future. So building a machine learning model that predicts the likelihood of maybe a customer leaving the particular, maybe unsubscribing, based off their historical data or based off their historical behavior. So that's what the idea that we're trying to do in this problem. Let's imagine that we already said that the problem was customers are leaving and we want to predict if a customer would leave based off their historical features. And after we're done with all of these things, a very important step is what? Evaluation, because we have to evaluate that the model we've built is working properly. Our accuracy is quite good. We have a And there are different types of metrics that we use to find accuracy. For example, there's accuracy, there's precision, there's recall, there's classification metrics, different types of things to detect if our machine learning model is good. So for example, if we're working with a classification machine learning model, which is what we have right here, predicting one or the other, if we have maybe a score of about 80-90%, we can say that that score is, we have a good score, we built a model that works properly, right? So which means that it is predicting a lot more right answers than wrong answers. Now, after evaluating, it's time to deploy. What does deployment mean? It means that you are putting it out into production. Yes, you've predicted something, you've built a whole machine learning model, but for it to be able to be used by maybe whichever end user, we have to put it out there into production. That's what deployment is about. And we know that monitoring and maintenance is a huge part of any form of life cycle, because we have to check that what we've built is working properly. Even new data that we have is being, imputed back into our machine learning model to work better with newer customers that we're going to get. So there's that monitoring and maintenance to ensure that things are going smoothly, continuously over a period of time. Now, so in conclusion, in a nutshell, what have we covered in today's webinar? We've discovered a lot about data science. We know that, first of all, data science is a very nice aspect of tech in itself. It's in fact the world's sexiest profession as at maybe 2020. There's the pay grade for a data scientist is on the higher side of things. Even as a junior data scientist or as a senior data scientist, there is a trajectory for growth. It's something that you're going to keep growing or keep improving in a particular profession. It opens your mind to so much. Your critical thinking skills will be activated. Your logical reasoning will be activated. Like, there's so many aspects of your being that you're going to improve on, especially being a data scientist or even just being in the data field. We also discussed about application of data science, what kind of industries it can be applied in. We also spoke about the life cycle of a data scientist for a data science project, and we discussed a lot of the skills that were also required: programming, mathematics, statistics, and all of these things. So just to wrap up, remember that data science is not just about numbers and formulas, right? It's about solving a problem. Just like the data lifecycle section we just completed, there's a problem that we're trying to solve. And we as a data scientist, we're building a solution that can fix that particular problem. If there's no problem, there's no need for data science. And we're working smartly, we're making smart decisions, and we keep adapting, creating a solution to whatever problems that might even come in the future. Take, for example, ChatGPT. Who knew that we needed ChatGPT? But it's one of the most important things. I feel like me personally, I use ChatGPT almost every other day. Before now, I didn't even realize I had a need for ChatGPT, but it has simplified life so much, and that is an application of data science, right? So whether you're new to data science, whether you've been there before, there is always a starting point.
can you hear me? Judith, can you hear me? Hi, Judith. Are you there? Okay, Judith, can you hear me now?
Hi, Tosin. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can. Awesome. How you
Yeah,
doing, Judith?
I'm doing very well. So I just before I lost connection, I told them that you were going to tell us more about how to, get into data science from using Jupyter Academy.
Yeah,
So
thank you
if you
very
could
much.
just brief us on that.
Yeah, I'll do that. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry. Let me start by apologizing for all of the hiccups that happened today. Apologies for that. Yes, the network did a lot, but we are here right now. So briefly, I'll be sharing my screen. Yeah, shortly. I'll be sharing my screen. Showing us how to get started, right? In data science with Jupyter Academy. Kindly let me know if you can see my screen. Judith, can you see my screen from there?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, awesome. Okay, guys. So I know that for everything that Judith has said, you're having that question of so where do I start from? How do I get started in data science? How do I commence? Who do I even register with? And so that is where Jupyter Academy comes in. And what we would tell you is that you enroll in a certified training institution. And how do you know one, right? These are certain traits or how to recognize a certified training institution. Number one, ensure that it is an institution that has access to training professionals, okay, that understands the principles of data science, the rudiments, that knows, I mean, everything, the nitty gritty of data science, right? One that will not let you embark on a trial and error journey. I mean, people that have the institution that has instructors, that has mentors, trainers that's gone through the phase, that understands, okay, oh yeah, you're possible to make a mistake, but they will not let you embark on that trial and error journey. An institution that provides you with a mentor, right? Which could be your instructor as well. And if
Hi,
there's anything
Tosin.
that, yeah,
Someone said they can't hear the speaker speak.
okay. How about now?
Okay, he can hear now.
Okay, I guess it was my volume. Okay, thank you very much. So, one that provides you with classmates, people that you can literally share experiences together, be accountable for each other, right? An institution that knows what is working. I mean, that knows the trends, not like they will teach you tools that is no longer working or that has already an updated version, right? And ultimately, an institution that provides you with an internationally recognized certification. I mean, the world is going global, and we are talking about a tech course right now. So automatically, whatever it is you're doing should be futuristic. I mean, considering the fact that oh, it should be something global. Do you understand? So and this is where data science mastery, Jupyter Academy data science mastery comes in. And what does our data science mastery course entails? So these are the things you get to learn when you enroll for our data science mastery course. Number one, you gain a solid understanding of data science and its areas of application. You learn how to acquire, explore, and pre-process data. You are able to perform exploratory data analysis. You understand the entire data science process from data collection to visualization and modeling. You learn programming and tools. You make predictions about machine learning algorithms, right? Let me run through all of this. Now, all of our courses are 8 weeks. I mean, it runs for 8 weeks and it is online intensive. So distance is not even a barrier in any way. Wherever it is you're going to be joining from in the four walls of the world, right? So we also have a Saturday live session, minimum, which is minimum of 90 minutes per session, right? And like I mentioned before, our certificates are recognized everywhere. We are currently a partner with CPD, right, which makes every certificate we're giving you to be recognized outside the in and out of Nigeria, both in the UK and in the US, right? We provide practical examples, case studies, and assignments during our sessions, during our classes, and this is handled every week. All right. Now, for all of these things that I've said, and even the things that Judith has said beyond before now, they are not for you if number one, you are lazy, if number one, you can't follow instructions, and if number three, you are tired of taking food off your table. I mean, if you don't want to improve, you don't want to do something better, you don't want to progress, then this probably isn't for you because you need to put in the work. You need to put in the work. Now, for our week one, you learn introduction to data science and its applications, understand data science process and life cycle, basics of Python programming and data science. You learn introduction to Jupyter notebooks, overview of data types, variables, and basic operations. And now for our week two, you learn data manipulation and cleaning. Okay, you learn how to clean data, how to handle it well, right? How to handle missing valuables, right? And all of that. Week three would be all about data visualization, right? And in that, you'll be introduced to data visualization principles, the libraries, how to create various types of plots and charts, how to communicate insights through effective visualizations. Week four will be all about exploratory data analysis. Sorry, I'm trying to rush through this because I'm looking at our time. After this, right now, I'm going to provide us a link where we can impute all of our questions. If you have any questions to ask us about Jupyter Academy, I'll drop a link to our inquiry form and also our official phone number that you can drop a message on WhatsApp or call to ask your questions. Um, Week five is all about statistical foundations for data science. Week six is all about machine learning basics, right? And for our week seven, you learn regression and classification. And week eight, you learn it's all about final projects and practical applications. This is where you apply all that you've learned before now. Um, we help you with your LinkedIn optimization because another perk we give is LinkedIn optimization, CV revamp, and portfolio building. Also, our courses are 8 weeks online intensive with 90-minute session per class, and our certificates are internationally recognized, like I said before. Now, all of these things that we've talked about still comes with a bonus, and these bonuses are still certification, CV revamp, internship placement, and job opportunities. So we don't give job opportunities to everybody, but to our best students. I mean, today we have a couple of our best students already interning in one organization or the other. So ideally, each of this, for all of these things I've mentioned, our courses will go for 400,000 naira, ideally, but I'm not asking you to pay 400,000 naira, neither are we asking you to pay 250,000 naira, not even 150,000 naira. So is it 100,000 naira? Now, despite the slash in the price, all of the value still remains, the perk still remains, nothing has reduced, okay, nothing missing. But there's still more. Now, this is the more. Jupyter Academy is in partnership with Ego Health, an healthcare startup that is giving a whopping 60% scholarship to any and everyone willing to transition into tech and willing to enroll with Jupyter Academy. And this scholarship is only valid till 7th of January. So it would have been the coming Monday, but we are in the festive season. So in the mood of celebration, Jupiter Academy decided to extend the scholarship to 7th of January 2024 at just 40,000 naira. So you get all of this that I've said at just 40,000 naira, and everything still remains the same. Still remains the same. So if you have your questions, I know you have questions, but there will be no time for us to answer all of those questions here. I'm going to be dropping a link while I hand over the mic to Judith to continue because the next thing right now is going to be okay, I'm not going to let this cat out of the bag. Judith will do that. So I'll drop link to our inquiry form if you have questions. You want to join Jupiter Academy, you want to enroll, you want to ask one or two things, I'll drop the link and also our official contact. We also have a Slack community. Either you're enrolling with us now or not, feel free to join our Slack community. I mean, you can learn one or two pending the time you are deciding if to enroll now or not. So please feel free to fill the link. I will drop the link right now. Thank you very much. Judith, over to you.
Hi, Tosin. Thank you for that very, descriptive explanation of how you can get started as a data scientist with Jupyter Academy. So right now we're going to go into the Q&A session. So based off the slides that I shared and the information that I passed across, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section and I would answer whatever questions that you have. Now, this is based off the presentation and the slides that I made. Okay, let's do something like this. If you're in this class, can you say hi in the comment section? Just say hi. Whether or not you have a question, let me know how many people are here and let me just see, the people that are here. So are we trying to say that there's no one in this class? Hi, Timmy. Hi, Yeb Temia. I'm so sorry if I got that wrong. Are we just two in this class? Hi, Doran. I'm sure we are more than this. Well, that's fine. Okay. So do we have any questions, like I said, regarding the slides, the presentation? Is there anything that you didn't get that you would like to know more about? Um, you know. Okay. So I'll assume that we have no questions. Now, based off the class that we have had, there is a link, and what that link does is I created some questions, and we would answer those particular questions. And the truth of the matter is that anyone that is able to answer all of the questions correctly and with the fastest time has a possibility to win 100% scholarship under Jupyter Academy for this program. So I would okay, we have a question. Can someone with a non-science background become a data scientist? Definitely. Data science in itself was not even data science till a few years back, right? And a lot of people we have in the data science industry are people that have transitioned, like myself. I transitioned, although my background is still science related, but I transitioned into data science and data analysis from a mechanical engineering background. But that doesn't mean that because you don't have a science degree that you cannot transition. It might take you a bit because you're going to have to get familiar with a lot of more scientific concepts. But like I have this saying that there's nothing that you cannot do as long as you put your mind to it. So yes, definitely there is the opportunities to be able to become a data scientist with a non-science background. Hi Yusuf. Sorry. Hi Osiobe. Do we have any other questions? You're welcome, Doran. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions, the form has been. I'm going to paste our form right now, and let me just get the form very quickly. And it's just an assessment, right? So just testing what you're able to learn from today's webinar session. And so everybody should try their hands on it. Um, if you go to the private chat section, because I can't for some reason post it on the comment section. If we can go to the private chat section, we would see a form. So the last form that was just put in there. Please let me know if you've seen the form. Just type it in the comment section if you've seen the form.
Yeah, I can see the phone from my end.
Okay. It's under the private chat, not comments. Yusuf, are you saying you did not see the form? It's under the private chat section. All right, everyone. So, if we have no questions left, then can I know if we filled the form or if you've completed the assessment, rather? Okay, just give me a minute. Let me go check for. All right, everyone. So this will be the end of this webinar. I hope we're able to, at least get in a few information about data science and something to just get us started or pique our interest in the field. The winner of the contest that we had would be communicated to you shortly. So do have a good day and a good rest of your day.